Phil, you know what's sad about that clip?
What?
I get to remember when Star Trek and Star Wars were good. So,
Yeah.
those were the days. Everybody, welcome back to Big Apple Hockey's Power Rankings, where we're going to be naming our top 5 teams in the league, each one of us. Phil will be doing his 5 today, and I do have Anthony's ready to when we're going to do some comparisons. Phil, I got to say, this might be the toughest top 5 we've had all season.
Yeah, and I mean, I try not to just go on overall record. I try to go right now as of this moment for mine. So that's my caveat with mine. So if anyone takes a look at mine and say, why does mine look weird? Why does folks look weird? Well, I mean, that's kind of why I'm not just going off of overall records. So I'll jump into mine. At number 5, I put the LA Kings. 7-1-2 in their last 10. They are playing some great hockey right now. They've pounded teams like the Islanders. They've played some real good hockey as of late. Kevin Fiala is about a point per game. Ante Kopitar is just playing great two-way hockey. The offense isn't as weird as it's been, like maybe say 2018, where he scored 90 points and won the Selke, became the 5th player in NHL history to do that. But he's still playing great. They're getting good goaltending from unlikely sources. Yes, Phoenix Copley is winning them games somehow. I still don't understand that. But the addition of Vladislav Gavrikov on defense has just been massive for them. I just like the way that they're playing right now, even though I hate the Kings for 2014. Screw you, Dwight King. Screw you.
I agree with you on that 100%.
Yeah, but the LA Kings are playing real good hockey right now. So yes, they're in my top 5. I have them at 5. At 4, I have the Edmonton Oilers. And I know people are going to say, oh, you're a big McDavid fan, blah, blah, blah. 8-1-1 in their last 10. 8-1-1. And Matthias Ekholm has made all of the difference with this team. Connor McDavid is on his way to scoring 150 points. And here's a little tidbit. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is actually 4 points away from 100. 4 points away.
That's unbelievable to think of.
I never would have thought Ryan Nugent-Hopkins would be close to 100 points this season. That would make the Edmonton Oilers the first team with 3 100-point scorers since the 1995-96 Pittsburgh Penguins, who have had Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr, who we talked about, who combined for over 310 points exactly. Actually, it was 310 exactly. And then Ron Francis, who I believe had 120 points that year, or it was 119 or something like that. But they had 3 100-point scorers, and Peter Nedved, who scored 99 points for his career year in 96. So, this Edmonton Oilers team is a juggernaut. They're trying to break the NHL's power play percentage record for a single season, and they look like they're going to do it because this power play just scores at will. They're getting capable goaltending from Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner. Evander Kane, since he's come back, has been putting up the offensive numbers that they need. Zach Hyman's having a career year. They have good depth with guys like Ryan McLeod, Warren Fogle, and so on. And the defense is, like I said, it's much improved, but Matthias Ekholm may be the biggest trade deadline acquisition in terms of pure impact across the board because he's done everything for them defensively and he's chipped in offensively as well. So,
hey, Phil, just to jump in real quick, Evander Kane scored his 300th career goal last night. And
Leon Draisaitl scored his 300th career goal, and Connor McDavid is 1 goal away from 300 in his career.
And also, continuing what you said, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, previous career high, 69 points. He is shattering that already. Like, he's going to get the triple digits. That's unbelievable. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Edmonton, for me, they're my number 4. I have 3 pretty good teams ahead of them right now, though. At number 3, I put the New York Rangers. 8-1-1 in their last 10. Plus 53 goal differential, second in the NHL behind Boston. They've absolutely smacked around teams. It looks like they're scoring about 5-6 goals a game as of recent. the top six is just dominant. The kid line is back. The defense is going to get better with Ryan Lindgren, and Nico Mikkola reminds me of Marek Malik, but better. And I say that because he's being asked to play well above his station, and he's doing a really good job of it. For a guy that played 16, maybe 17 minutes a night before this, he's actually playing well in that role, playing 20-plus minutes with Adam Fox. And he looks good moving the puck, too, which is unexpected. I never expected him to be able to move the puck as well as he's moved. And I've watched a lot of him in St. Louis. And that's why I was excited when they got him in that deal. So he's exceeded my expectations. Igor Shesterkin, do we really need to say more? He's back. He is back. If the Scorpion save from the other game didn't tell you that he was back, he's back. But he's back to posting what he was doing last year when he won the Vezina Trophy, when he was posting almost video game Hasek 97, 98 like numbers. This team is a wagon right now. Watch out. Number 2, I went with the Colorado Avalanche. And Colorado is the only team in their last 10 that has more wins than the Rangers. They are 9-1-0 in their last 10. They're back. And this is without Andre Burakovsky, without Nazem Kadri, but they're getting big time goal production from Mikko Rantanen, who's looking to hit 50. Nathan McKinnon might even score 100 points despite missing a large chunk of games, which would be his first 100-point season in his career. Just think about it. If Nathan McKinnon didn't miss the amount of games that he's missed, you might have to put him in the Hart consideration. He's at 95 points right now. 95 in only 62 games. 62 games. You know what that reminds me of? Peter Forsberg in the late 90s. Oh, let me miss 20 games but still score 90-something points. Yeah, because Nathan McKinnon is that damn good. And they've got a good supporting cast. They've got the depth. Alexander Georgiev is putting up respectable numbers. Who would have thought? And now this team looks to be like they have just been saving it up, and now they're just getting hot at the right time. It's almost like the 2000 Yankees. Let me just dog through, and then I'm just going to hit that switch, and we're just going to shoot straight up from there. And then number 1, you know who it is. It's a layup. Yes, Core, there's your graphic, buddy. There's your layup graphic. But, yeah, it's the Boston Bruins. I mean, and I know that they've lost a few games recently, but they're still the best team in the league. They're still getting it done. Even without Taylor Hall, Tyler Bertuzzi is now starting to acclimate himself, and they're just a wagon. Linus Ullmark doesn't seem to be losing a step. Everything is just still firing on all cylinders with that team. David Pastrnak is 2 points away from his first 100-point season of his career. He's going to likely do it. He's already got 52 goals the first time in his career. The guy's an absolute stud. They have everything that you can ask for. So, number 1, the Bruins. Mark, you take it away.
I got to say first, before we get off the Bruins, it's amazing because Anthony and I, during the summer, when we're filling in the dead time for some of those games,
this comment,
931 save percentage. That's right, Core. That's a good one. We're going to have the finger pointing graphic coming back. But the Boston Bruins looked like they could have been in for a disaster season. Head coach getting his second shot at the league. A bunch of UFAs on this team. I believe they have 9, and a lot of money tied up in their defense. And instead, they're going for it, and they are getting contributions from everyone, and they're going to end up being the toughest out in the Stanley Cup playoffs. But that being said, I got one statistic I want to remind everybody. Linus Ullmark is tied in wins in the playoffs with Filk and me, and neither one of us play in the NHL. It's very hard to get 16 wins, especially when you were the goalie at the beginning of the day. Of opening day. I mean, I don't think there's really been a goaltender in memory that's done it. there's plenty of Ken Dryden's, Matt Murray's, Cam Ward's that have come out of nowhere, but for a goalie to start the season and really try to ramp it up and be a 60-game goaltender, there hasn't been many. But Philk, to win the cup, that is. This is all of us and our consensus. I'm going to go to mine in a second. Anthony, he had the Rangers at 4. He had the Golden Knights up there a little bit higher than I did. And he also had the Minnesota Wild. Minnesota Wild are playing great hockey right now. Phil, there's a lot of good names that are on there. I put the Rangers at 2 just because they are really hot. But he could easily have put the Colorado Avalanche second. 9-1 in their last 10. And they got shocked by Pittsburgh in that game. I watched that game on TNT. Great game. And I still can't believe it. Georgiev's been a steady influence. I thought he was going to fall off. His goals against still isn't great, but his save percentage is. So who cares about that? You could say goals against. You could say more of a team stat. But I had the Minnesota Wild because the Minnesota Wild – there are very few times where I'm going to just look past the division leader and not say that they're good. But you get a team like the only team that's really on cruise control in our top 5, I think in all of us, is the Boston Bruins. Boston Bruins are on cruise control. You get other teams that are in cruise control, like the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Tampa Bay Lightning. That kind of is what takes them out of this. I'm not saying they're not a top 10 team, everybody. I'm just saying that's what makes them not that top 5 because they're not playing as well. The Rangers could have easily done what Toronto's right now doing, go 5-5, and then, or actually Toronto's case, I think Tampa Bay was 5-5. Toronto was riveting television right here, 6-3-1. That's still not bad. They're gonna have to work Ryan O'Reilly back in the lineup. But I think this is a solid lineup, Phil. I think this is the toughest top 5 I think we've had to do.
Yeah, it was tough for me because I wanted to put Vegas in there. I'm not as high on Minnesota. I know a lot of people are going to point to Minnesota and play. Hey, Minnesota 7-1-2 in the last 10. Yeah, they're playing great, and they have the division lead right now, and I get that. But that team just for some reason does not scare me. They don't.
And understandably so. The other way around kind of worked with the Edmonton Oilers. They're playing great in their last 10, but I looked at their schedule. They had a couple bad losses that recently happened. They lost to Vegas in overtime. I'm thinking about how they almost lost to San Jose last week.
Yeah,
that's really it. They're firing, and you got Connor McDavid, who's right now.
They just kicked the crap out of Vegas last night. They absolutely, and I tell you, I watched that game. They kicked the crap out of them. And Vegas, they got a lead on Vegas, and Vegas looked like they wanted to try to get back into it. And then Nugent Hopkins and Draisaitl and McDavid literally just took them by the throat and said, "We're stomping you out," and that's it. And that was the game.
And it's amazing. It's and they just Vegas, by the way, a little bit sloppy, a lot of turnovers. But Nugent Hopkins, he's about to have his first 100-point season in what, year 12? Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody, the Rangers should get rid of Kakko and Lafreniere right now. So, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get there with a player.
Yes. How old are Crosby and Malkin? Crosby is 35 and Malkin is 36 or 37. So they're getting up there, bud.
Yeah, they're up there. And the difference is Sidney Crosby isn't showing the signs of age Evgeny Malkin is.
Yes.
So that's something just to keep in mind on that one. Also, not only signs of age, sometimes Evgeny Malkin looks like he's just done in Pittsburgh. He just doesn't want to be there anymore. But that's also Evgeny Malkin.
That's something that's been rumored for a while, too. And it's funny because the Evgeny Malkin that is done, quote unquote, done in Pittsburgh, still has 77 points in 74 games. So he's still just a tremendous player.
And you know what? I've been predicting they were going to trade Evgeny Malkin since 2015, and he's only won 2 Stanley Cups and played 1,000 games for them. So, all right, let's go do some bar talk, everybody.
Please like and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of great hockey content
and an entertaining interactive podcast. So, check us out and our library of videos.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.